Yo, what is up, VC? Kieran here. Gonna do a quick video, show you a few LPs that I picked up recently. So I haven't bought much, bought a few used, two used LPs and a few reissues, and then I'll show you a couple other albums too, just from my collection. So turn this down here. I'll tell you what. Some of you may recognize this, but I'll tell you what it is later. I'll just let it ride out. So, been watching my recent videos. I've mentioned Supreme Jubilee, so you know I'm really into that album, and I'm still listening to that a lot. The gospel one that I have here. So if you haven't seen those videos, check out Supreme Jubilees. It'll all be over. So there's that album, as well as another one that I have not been able to stop listening to. This one's not a gospel album, and I can't believe that I haven't heard this album sooner. It's an album from the 70s, and I've heard about the artist so much and never really listened. And I look at my iTunes, and I saw that I only had one album, and it was more of a bluesy one than a soul one, and the album is Syl Johnson. And I heard this song on YouTube, Is It Because I'm Black, and was blown the fuck away. So right away, seeked out the rest of the album, and then fell in love right away and had to buy it on vinyl. This is obviously a reissue that was put out by NeedleGroove, I believe, as part of that. They had a complete mythology that they released, but it's a bit intense. It looks like a really nice box set that they put out, but I wasn't gonna jump the gun and order that right away, but this was one of the LPs from it, and I think it's considered his best, but I'm definitely gonna look into his other albums. So NeedleGroove, which is also, I picked up those Good God Gospel compilations, which are incredible. But the title track, Is It Because I'm Black? Unbelievable. They do a Beatles cover of Come Together, and then the tracks, my other favorites, Concrete Reservation, Black Balloons, I'm Talking About Freedom. Like, every song in here is unbelievable. So if you don't know this album, check it out. If you do, you know what I'm talking about. It is friggin' stunning. I can't believe I didn't know it sooner, like I said. And I put this up there with the classic, like the great soul albums of the 70s of all time. Like the classic Marvin Gaye albums, What's Going On, Stevie Wonder's best albums. This is up there. It's a short album. It's not very long, but gets the message across. So what else did I pick up? I'll show you guys okay. I should have shown, I don't know what's more exciting. Last week, what was finally released on vinyl, and I definitely recommend you pick it up. The album came out in December. You're going to know what I'm talking about probably. And it was a much anticipated LP album. We've been waiting some 15 years for it, and it is, drumroll, D'Angelo and the Vanguard, Black Messiah. So this came out, and I loved it when it came out in December. I listened to it a bunch. I put it to rest a bit. I knew it was going to be coming out on vinyl. Picked it up the day it came out, and I was not disappointed. I fell in love with the album all over again. Listening to it on vinyl is a completely different experience, which I can't say for every album, but I definitely, when you turn this one up and blast it, you can definitely hear. So this is what it looks like. Very simple gatefold, and it comes with a booklet here with information on the tracks. There's not too much reading here, but it's nice packaging, and I like in the liner notes it says here, this made me laugh. It says, for best results, listen at maximum volume. No doubt, eh? Hey, it's a Canadian in me. So D'Angelo and the Vanguard, double LP, unbelievable. I mean, if you probably already know this, because if you're into this stuff, but if you're not, we're checking out tracks Ain't That Easy, 1,000 Deaths, which is definitely some more rocky, psychedelic stuff. Really Love is one of my favorite tracks with the Spanish guitar. The whole album is just unbelievable. It takes a while to digest. There's a lot of space, but it's also dense. It's hard to describe. and Questlove obviously on the drums on this, Pino Palladino on bass, so people who really contributed to Voodoo as well. And what I didn't know, and I don't know if he was on Voodoo or not, but Roy Hargrove, trumpet player, does the trumpet work on here, which makes me very happy because I love the Roy Hargrove albums. And actually, I've been seeing these in my CD pile and wanted to show them, but didn't know when I would, but might as well show them right now. If you guys don't know these Roy Hargrove albums, so this is my favorite, the RH Factor. So this is a band, I guess, of his called the RH Factor. So this is amazing, amazing album. And you have special guests on here. I'm going to read it to you. Erykah Badu, Common, D'Angelo, Anthony Hamilton, Michelle Ndegeocello, I never know how to say that, Q-Tip. This is some funky kind of groovy jazz. So I guess Roy Hargrove, jazz player, modern jazz, but this RH Factor, these RH Factor projects of his where he does some groovier stuff is hot. I definitely recommend you check this out. And this one's from 2003. This is killer. The track with Common on here. There's Common freestyle. It's groovy. And then I also have this one, Distractions. I don't know this one as well. I'm gonna listen to this one again. You still have you have D'Angelo on a track on this. And then there's an EP as well, Strength EP. I'm gonna revisit these other two. Anyway, these are awesome, awesome albums. It's a good time to show them. Okay, so I picked up another classic that I should have known earlier, but only discovered maybe a year ago or even less. And I've seen an original once, but it was $60, and I wasn't gonna drop that. And I saw the reissue, so I decided to pick it up. And it is Serge Gainsbourg, Histoire de Melody Nelson, which is a beautiful, beautiful, short little album. Soundtrack-like, but it's not actually a soundtrack to a movie, if I understand correctly. And this is just an exact replica, I believe, of the original. Some of you, many of you probably have an original, but I picked that up to have it on vinyl. I was happy about that. Okay, what else I got to show you guys from my pile? Okay, used LP I picked up, I was happy to find. Not something that I'm going to listen to a ton because it's very hard to listen to. You really have to sit and be in the right mood for it. But it was something I'm happy to add to the collection. I don't think it's a Canadian, possibly original, maybe not first press, but definitely an early 60s press of Free Jazz by Ornette Coleman. So a collective improvisation by the Ornette Coleman double quartet. And this is a thick, thick gatefold here. So early 70s. And like I've looked on Discogs, and on my copy this is blank, but on a lot of, I guess the original, I don't know, that image is there. But the Canadian one isn't listed on Discogs, but it's on the original kind of Atlantic. So those are the early Canadian Atlantic presses are on that. This album's from 1970. So I don't have any kind of old. I have, I think, Shape of Jazz, Jazz to Come, or whatever it's called. A reissue of that. And this, what really is awesome. I mean, this is just basically one track, part one, part two, only because they had to split it up, side one, side two, and it's just they went in there and they just played. So it's some dense music, and you have Ornette Coleman on alto sax, Eric Dolphy on bass clarinet, Don Cherry on pocket trumpet, Freddie Hubbard on bass trumpet, Scott LaFaro on bass, Charlie Hayden on bass, Billy Higgins on drums, and Ed Blackwell on drums. So this is a mono copy. They say on stereo, they list who you have on the left channel and who you have on the right channel. But yeah, so that's that. This is The Shape of Jazz to Come. Yeah, that's the one I have. Anyway, so this White Light by Jackson Pollock is the painting that we have here. I don't know anything about that. But yeah, so this is nice, thick original gatefold Ornette Coleman, so I was happy to find that. And this last weekend I went shopping, picked up one record, and it's one that I had heard about through the VC. And this is not an original, but it's the first repress that was made of it in '96, which, looking on Discogs, doesn't sell for cheap either. It still has sold for quite a bit on Discogs, and I wasn't gonna splurge for the original, nor was I probably ever gonna find an original. But it is Black Murda. So this is some psychedelic rock, bluesy, funky, kind of folk rock. Some songs are folkier than others. And this reissue is on what is pretty funny, Funky Delicacies. Can you see that? There you go, Funky Delicacies. So what blew me away about this, I hadn't really read about the album, is how much it sounds like Jimi Hendrix. Holy cow. I think it was influenced, I said, by Are You Experienced, but I get a lot of Band of Gypsies from it, but the vocals are just so Jimi Hendrix-esque, Jimi Hendrix-like. Anyway, but it's a dope album from 1970, Black Murda. I'm sure you guys know this one too, but if you don't, definitely worth checking out. And I had taken my couple of friends of mine record shopping who aren't really into vinyl but are getting into it slowly a little bit. They probably won't get into it too seriously, but they want to have a little collection, play some records once in a while. And my friend's birthday had just passed, so I decided, oh, I'll buy him a record. And we had been to Lee Field's concert, so I bought him this record. This is my copy of Lee Field's My World. We had been to that show together, and this is one of my favorite soul albums from the past 10 years, I guess. I don't know what year this actually came out, 2009, so 6 years ago. This is amazing, amazing stuff. I know not everyone loves the whole Daptone and, you know, Truth and Soul, what they're doing, but I'm a fan of a lot of it, not all of it, but this album particularly, My World, Lee Fields, this one's autographed, with love, Sophie and Kieran, that's my ex-girlfriend, Lee Fields, so we went to see him and he signed it. If you don't know this and you're into funk and soul, this is worth checking out. I mean, this just the main song that is more known as Honey Dove, but the song Money is King, Ladies. If you don't know it, listen, you'll see what I'm talking about. And his most recent album that came out last year, I don't have that one on vinyl. What's it called? Emma Jean. There's some really good stuff on there. I don't know that I like it as much as these two. The other one that I'm showing is this one, Faithful Man. This one came out around the time that my girlfriend Sophie, that has her name on the other one, and I broke up, and this got me through the breakup, man. This just fed my soul. It was, I remember listening to this over and over and over again. This one's also on Truth and Soul. This one's from 2012. But yeah, another great album, in my opinion. Lee Fields' Faithful Man. And I've shown this one before, but no one really said anything about it. And I don't know if you guys know it, but if you don't, like I said before, you have to check this album out. If you were into funk and soul, R&B, it's not fun, I don't know. This is just, it's an incredible album. Cody Chestnut, Landing on 100. This came out a couple years ago now. I think it was 2013. And I don't even know how I discovered it, but I knew Cody Chestnut. I wasn't really into his first album. This is a totally different, and in my opinion, this is a masterpiece of an album. This will stand the test of time as just an incredible, incredible album. And I saw him perform it live, and the dude is just pure positive energy, and it's amazing. So this one's actually signed as well. I showed that, but please check this out if you don't know it. If you know, leave a comment. I really like to know what you think. I don't know of anyone who doesn't like this. I've shown it to a few people, and they all have absolutely loved it. Man, he's just a deep dude now. He changed a lot. His first album, Headphone Masterpiece, was very kind of a lot of sexual content. And at the concert, I think I said this in my video before, that he was apologized for not apologized, but just mentioned how some people may want to hear some of the stuff from his earlier album, but he wasn't doing it because he was at a different place in his life then, and is not that he doesn't associate with that music anymore. So very different subject matter. Anyway, and last one, just I guess a recent spin, is Weldon Irvine. That's what we're listening to right now. Cosmic Force? No, Cosmic Vortex. Those are some funky grooves from the 70s. Well known probably in the VC. New discovery for me, not this album, but in the scope of things, I only discovered him last year. And I think this is the only album I know of his, so I'll probably pick some more up eventually, but I mean, we only have reissues, they're always going to be there. So if you have a favorite album by Weldon Irvine, let me know what it is and I'll check that one out. But this one's the first one I picked up because it was the only one there at the time, and it's some groovy stuff. I'm digging it. So yeah, that's it for my stack to show you guys. Headed to Toronto this weekend, so I might stop by some record stores. I'm going with my girlfriend this weekend. I'm going to go back in 2 weeks' time to meet my cousin, so I might save the digging for then, but I'll probably sneak into a few stores this weekend if I can find time to get away without upsetting my girlfriend too much, because we only have a bit of time there together. So yeah, that's it. We got a hint of spring last week, then we got hit with some more winter. But hopefully gonna get nice soon. Anyway, hope everyone's well. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and leave a comment below. Peace, guys.